Myself, Vaishali Dwivedi. Right now, I am pursuing Masters in Physiotherapy. Before proceeding to my presentation, I am really thankful to the entire organizing committee of the ePhysioCon and Dr. Piyush Jain sir for organizing this wonderful ePhysioCon and gave us the opportunity to represent ourselves in front of everyone. So the topic of my presentation is urinary incontinence. Before proceeding to my presentation, firstly, I just want to give the brief introduction of the urinary incontinence. What is urinary incontinence? In normal terms, or we can say in simple words, urinary incontinence means the loss of bladder control. It is a common and often embarrassing problem. Urinary incontinence is a highly common and often life-altering condition. Basically, it is commonly present in female patients. Because of the weakness of the pelvic floor muscles after after pregnancy, and around 15 to 30% needs to understand that urinary incontinence isn't a disease or a symptom. It can be caused by destructive habits, because of sudden pressure on the lower stomach muscles, such as when you cough, laugh, lift something, or exercise. It is usually occurs small amount of pressure may cause leakage of the urine. Now second, urge incontinence. This occurs when need to urinate comes on very suddenly. Your body may only give you a warning of a few seconds to minutes before you urinate. Third, overflow incontinence. This type of incontinence is the uncontrollable leakage of small amount of urine. It is caused by overfilled bladder. This often occur in men caused by something blocking the urinary flow, such as enlarged prostate gland or tumor. Diabetes and certain medicine may also cause the problem. So basically, overflow incontinence mainly or basically occurs in more commonly occurs, or we can say more often or commonly occurs in male patient, just because of the enlargement of the prostate gland or some other types of tumors present in that particular area may cause these types of incontinence. Fourth is functional incontinence. This type occurs when you have normal urine control, but you have trouble getting to the bathroom because of arthritis or other disease that makes it hard to move around. Functional incontinence is this type of continence is basically depends on your mobility. Patient who is suffering from any type of physical problem or there is a difficulty in walking due to arthritis, due to as a spinal cord injury or any other type of injury. So this is basically this type of now the causes of urge clinical presentation of urge incontinence. Urge sensation to void, stimulating void, a large amount of urine. What are the causes of stress incontinence? Relaxes insufficient urethral support from pelvic muscles and fascia. Now I'm going to lack of inhibition. Third, stroke, cervical stenosis. Clinical presentation of urge incontinence. Now, the causes of the stress incontinence. First, relaxes insufficient urethral support from pelvic muscles. Many types of instability and some other such procedure may cause the stress maneuver. Urethral instability, that is controversial, urethra spontaneously relaxes. Clinical, clinical presentation of stress incontinence associated with increase in intra-abdominal pressure such as coughing, laughing and sneezing. Small amount of urine leakage may occur instantly after the stress maneuver. It can also be depend upon the age and the obesity as the now the causes of the overflow incontinence obstructive process. This happens when there is an obstruction or blockage to the bladder, commonly present with urinary retention rather than overflow incontinence. Surgical correction for urinary incontinence that was not successful. Large cytosine that kinks the urethra, detrusor underactivity, peripheral neuropathy, diabetes mellitus, syphilis, vitamin B12 deficiency, damage to spinal detrusor or efferent tumor, disc herniation, detrusor fibrosis from chronic obstruction. They are the following the reason that may cause an obstruction due to the enlarged prostate gland, a tumor pressing against the bladder, urinary stones, or constipation. The clinical presentation of overflow incontinence obstructive symptoms, hesitancy, frequency, urgency, post-void dripping. Leaking urine continually, neurological problems. In these pictures, there are the representation of the four types of urinary continence. Now, physical exam. Various types of physical examination has been done by the doctor to diagnose the condition and the exact cause of the urinary incontinence. The various types of examination are mental status, mobility, physical exam, that means cytosol anal wink. In physical exam, the doctor may examine the vagina and check the strength of pelvic floor muscles in females, and in male patient, doctor determine the rectum to determine whether the prostate gland is enlarged. In spinal exam, cervical stenosis, spinal bifida occulta. Test. Various type of tests has been done by the doctor to examine the causes of the urinary incontinence. First, post-void residual. In this, the person record how much they drink when urination occurs, how much is produced, and the number of episodes of incontinence. In normal condition, there is 50 to 150 milliliter of urine. In abnormal condition, less than 200 ml. Urinalysis tests are carried out for signs of infection and abnormalities. Q-tip, bedside cytometry, urodynamic test mainly for surgery, uncertain diagnosis, various types of blood tests that can access the kidney functions. Pelvic ultrasound is also occurs that provides the image and may help to detect any abnormalities. Stress test that will be asked to apply sudden pressure while the doctor looks out for loss of urine. Cystogram and X-ray procedure provide an image of the bladder. Cystoscopy, a thin tube with a lens at the end is inserted into the urethra. By this, the doctor can view any abnormalities in the urinary tract. Now, moving forward to the treatment of urinary incontinence. Treatment depends on how severe the symptoms are and how much they interfere with everybody's life. There are four major categories of treatment for stress incontinence: behavioral changes, incontinence exercises, medication, and surgery. These categories are basically made just to look out the exact cause, and these treatments are divided according to the patient's condition. First, behavioral changes: decreasing any excessive fluid intake, urinating more frequently to decrease the amount of urine that leaks, changing physical activities to avoid jumping or running movements. These slight changes in the physical activities help to uh, to stop the dripping of the urine just because of the stress. Regulating bowel movement with laxatives or dietary fibers to avoid constipation. Second, now exercises. A Kegel exerciser is a medical device designed to be used by women to exercise the pubococcygenes muscle. In these exercises, there are three main types: barbells, springs, rubber bulbs, that is made of smooth polished solid stainless steel. It is cylindrical in shape with a rounded bulge at each end. Spring devices are made of plastic with removable spring to allow the progressive resistance. Electrical stimulation. Brief doses of electrical stimulation can strengthen muscle in the lower pelvis in a way similar to exercising the muscle. Electrodes are temporarily placed in the vagina or rectum to stimulate nearby muscles. This can stabilize overactive muscles and stimulate the contraction of urethral muscles. Biofeedback. It uses measuring devices to help the patient become aware of his or her body's functioning by using electronic devices to track the bladder and urethral muscles. Treatment sessions
usually last 20 minutes and may be done every 1 to 4 days. Newer techniques are investigated, including one that uses a specifically designed electromagnetic chair that causes the pelvic floor muscles to contract when the patient is seated. Third is medication. Medicines tend to work better in patients with mild to moderate stress incontinence. There are several types of medication that may be used alone or in combination. They include anticholinergic agents, oxybutynin, tolterodine, Enablax, Sanchura, and Oxetrol, antimuscarinic drugs, and alpha-adrenergic agonist drug. Fourth, surgery. Doctor usually suggests surgery to elevate incontinence only after other treatments have been tried. The less invasive variants of the sling operation were equally effective in treating stress incontinence as surgical sling operation. One such surgery is called urethropexy. So here is the representation of the abdominal pressure that causes the incontinence. Before moving to the role of physiotherapy in urinary continence, there are various other types of complication that occurs due to the urinary incontinence. First, that is skin problem. Rashes, sores may develop from constant wet skin. Urinary tract infection. It also impacts on the personal life of the patient. There are the various factors due to which temporary urinary incontinence also occurs. Certain drinks, foods, and medicine may act as diuretics that stimulates the bladder and increase the volume of urine. They include alcohol, caffeine, chocolate, chili peppers, heart and blood pressure medication, sedatives, muscle relaxants, and large doses of the vitamin C. Urinary incontinence may also be caused by urinary tract infection that can irritate bladder that cause to strong urge to urinate and sometimes incontinence and constipation. There are the various prevention that are to maintain the healthy weight, practice pelvic floor exercises, avoid bladder irritants such as caffeine, alcohol, and acidic food, and quit smoking. Now, the role of physical therapy in urinary incontinence. Physical therapy addresses the root cause of urinary incontinence rather than simply treating the symptoms. It is one of the most common treatment recommendations for urinary incontinence includes exercising the muscles of the pelvis. These exercises strengthen pelvic floor muscles and sphincter muscles to reduce the stress leakage. Patient younger than 60 years old benefit the most. The following steps explain the process of treating urinary incontinence through physical therapy. Basically, in physical therapy, the treatment of urinary incontinence is basically based on the strengthening of the pelvic floor muscles. The following are the steps to explain the process of treating urinary incontinence through physical therapy. First, diagnosis. A physical therapist will provide an initial evaluation to determine which type of urinary incontinence the patient is experiencing and what are the root causes. The diagnosis is done by taking the history of the patient and the day-to-day activities. Second, treatment. The pelvic floor can be strengthened through proper training. The physical therapist will create an individualized treatment plan by identifying the specific muscles that need strengthening and which pelvic floor muscles will work best for you. The physical therapist can teach you techniques for preventing bladder leakage when sneezing, laughing, or working out. So, how to do Kegel exercises? Kegel exercises is the exercises to strengthen the muscles of the pelvic floor. Find the right muscles. To identify your pelvic floor muscles, stop urination in midstream. If you succeeded, you have got the right muscles. You can do exercises as any position, although you might find it easiest to do them lying down at first. Perfect your technique. Tighten your pelvic floor muscles, hold the contraction for 5 seconds, and then relax for 5 seconds. Try it 4 or 5 times in a row. Work up to keeping the muscles contracted for 10 seconds at a time, relaxing for 10 seconds between contractions. In this picture, here we can explain the various facts about the Kegel exercises that is commonly prescribed to improve many conditions. Lift pelvic floor and contract the muscles. They can be done at any location at home, office, or in the car. They have been proven effective in reducing urinary incontinence. So the position should be comfortable when the patient is doing the Kegel exercises. Maintain your focus. For best results, focus on tightening only your pelvic floor muscles. Be careful not to flex the muscles in your abdomen, thighs, or buttocks. Avoid holding your breath. Instead, breathe freely during the exercises. Don't make a habit of using Kegel exercises to start and stop your urinary stream. Doing Kegel exercises while emptying your blood can actually lead to incomplete emptying of the bladder, which increase the risk of urinary tract infection. If you do Kegel exercises regularly, you can expect results such as less frequent urine leakage with, within about a week, few weeks to a few months. For continuous benefits, make Kegel exercises a permanent part of your daily routine. So, thank you for listening to this presentation.